Hi, my name is David Stuart, and I am from a company called InTouch Health. I would share with you that I have no idea what that is. I would share with you that we have been, as a team, developing sophisticated robotic solutions for hospitals for more than 20 years. Our first products were surgical robots. In fact, we invented the world's first surgical robots in California, eventually merging our technologies with a second player named Intuitive Surgical. And for more than 10 years, we've spun off from that and have developed telehealth robotic solutions that will enable some remarkable things. So allow me to share what we've been doing. I don't know. It's not working? Well, they're figuring out that technology. I'll tell you a little bit about our technology. So telehealth has been around for decades, really. It began with telepathology, teleradiology, and a lot of non-real-time kind of applications. In the recent decade, a lot of companies have brought forward video conferencing solutions into the telehealth space. And there have been a number of successes in that space. One of the things that our company has recognized from the beginning is that in order for telehealth to be able to address the high acuity market, there needed to be the ability to depend upon the technology. So we've invested over the past 10 years more than $100 million in the development of what we call the telehealth network. And this network has a number of different technologies that guarantee the success, the connectivity success, and guarantee that the engagement between a physician and a patient has a very high reliability. And in fact, our company is the world's only Class 2 telehealth solution in the world. And all other telehealth solutions made by Cisco, Tandberg, Polycom, Lifesize, Video, all the rest, do not have this telehealth network. We are designed specifically to deliver high acuity care and do it in a way in this Class 2 regulated environment that guarantees the connectivity. As you can imagine, in order to engage with a patient, especially a high acuity patient, the physician would prefer to have access to not just the patient through a video and audio conference, but also the patient's information. Here you see an image of a physician who's looking at a stroke patient, and he's looking at the patient's PACS image and other patient information while he's conducting a visual examination of that patient, conducting, in fact, an NIH stroke scale assessment. The platform that we've developed is not so much about robots or video conference carts. It's not so much about any of the bits of hardware. It's really about the network itself, the ability for physicians, regardless of where that physician specialist might be, and regardless of where the patient might be, to instantaneously connect to the bedside of that patient and do it in a highly reliable way. In fact, our solution enables connectivity when the bandwidth may be as low as 300 kilobits. We certainly take advantage of higher bandwidths, and we do that dynamically. So in the midst of an engagement with a patient, if the internet has some challenges, we automatically and dynamically adjust such that the connection is not lost, the audio packets are not lost, and the patient and physician engagement can continue without difficulty. You can imagine in an assessment where a physician at the patient side and a physician remotely are talking, and one of the physicians says, I think the patient should not continue with this therapy. Imagine a device or a tool where the data packets are not guaranteed and the word not is lost. We have more than 1,600 hospitals. By the way, 2.5 years ago, we had around 1,000 or 1,100 hospitals. We've added 500 hospitals in the last 2 years. In the next 12 months, we will add 400 more hospitals. In fact, our business is fully booked, going out anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Those units are already sold, so we know what our business is going to be in the next 12 months. It's growing very, very rapidly. We have around the world more than 160 integrated device networks. In the UK, I think you call them trusts. It's a very similar structure. We've got these 160 networks that range in size from 5 hospitals to as many as 200 hospitals. I think our largest network customer is HCA of America with more than 200 hospitals. We are in more than 30 countries, and we serve more than 30 different specialties in the emergency departments, intensive care units, and operating theaters around the world. We've performed nearly 1 million high acuity assessments since we started more than 10 years ago. Stroke is our single largest application. We're serving more than 90,000 patients a year. Our customers inform us that their ability to serve stroke patients that otherwise would not have access to a specialist results in about 15% lives saved. So each year, we are saving somewhere between 10 and 12,000 lives with our technology. Not to mention that the clinical outcomes are significantly improved by the ability to do such things as deliver TPA. And in fact, our TPA percentages are averaging 28%. Some of our customers are as high as 35% and even a little higher with strong community education to get patients into hospital sooner. And they will not lose data packets. There will not be misunderstandings with regard to lost audio. So all these technologies, I'll spare you the drudgery of what all the technologies are, but we if any of you would like to know more about that, please see me after, and we can have some discussions about the different technologies. Suffice to say that we provide data protection. We exceed the requirements of all agencies in the world. We've never found a healthcare system, a military organization, or any other kind of hospital network that had requirements that we did not meet. In fact, we far exceed their requirements in terms of patient data protection. That's something you don't get, for example, with Skype, and you may not get with some of the standard video conferencing technologies that are available today. Oh, my time is up. I'll go quick. We have begun in the high acuity space, and we have now been able to expand from high acuity into the other segments of care delivery in post-acute, subacute care, rehabilitation hospitals, and even community care where patients are discharged to the home. And we've developed a series of different devices that serve this entire continuum of care from very low acuity in community care and general practice all the way up to high acuity. Again, we began in the toughest part of the market, which is the high acuity market, where you must have a Class 2 telehealth solution. You cannot be transformational unless you can guarantee 100% connectivity and guarantee a 100% success between that engagement of a physician and a patient. Here's a small sampling of the 160 networks that we serve today. And again, if anyone would like to know more about these networks and receive some references, we'd be happy to share. Our greatest customers are the ones that began their journey in telehealth using fairly low-cost, simple ways to communicate between one point and another. And then as they faced those challenges of not being able to know where a doctor would be, sometimes our customers are in their car and they're called, "Can you see this patient?" And the doctor says, "Fine." He pulls his car over to a safe location, turns on his phone or his iPad or his laptop, and connects to the patient bedside and is able to conduct an assessment from wherever they are. And so we're highly flexible in terms of we don't require that you have a hub and spoke. We don't require anything. In fact, we don't even require that you change your workflows. We have developed workflows that are highly flexible, and we can take the way that a customer delivers care today, and we can incorporate our solution around that care delivery model such that the only thing that we're changing is that the physician does not have to be physically located in any particular place. Physicians can be anywhere and still have access to clinical workflows and electronic medical records, PACS information, and the patient. If you go to our website 10 years ago, you could only find pictures of robots and hardware devices because that's what we thought we were selling. What we've discovered over time is it's not what we're selling. What we're selling is an engagement process where we package workflows and the ability to connect anytime, anywhere. And today when you go on our website, you have a very difficult time even finding a picture of a device, and you have a very difficult time being able to find the word robot. I think it doesn't even exist on our website. Workflow is something that we've heard a lot about and learned a lot about in the past 10 years, and our strongest focus today is on the development of workflow tools that are highly flexible. If a customer already has an electronic medical record system, perhaps it's Epic or Cerner or something else, what we do is we develop these tools, these middleware tools, that allow the ability to extract information from the electronic health record that's relevant to that particular type of clinical engagement. It allows the physician to see that information from the large and complex electronic health record system and then be able to enter new information into this middleware tool that we provide, this workflow tool, and then eventually at the end of that engagement, that data can be uploaded back into the electronic medical record system so that it's all been documented and recorded. We also offer a way for our physicians to have a single user logon, which means that when they log into our application, we have tabs that automatically hold the credentials confidentially. We don't even know what that information is, but it allows the physicians to then have access to all the other electronic medical record systems and PACS systems that they might need in order to complete an engagement with a patient, no matter where that patient is. Now, I'm going to skip through a lot of these other slides. We have lots of statistics, as you might imagine, with 1,600 hospitals and 160 networks of hospitals and almost 1 million high acuity engagements. We have got lots of data, and all the data points to very high productivity with respect to leveraging assets. In fact, our customers tell us what InTouch is about is enabling our network to leverage our rarest assets across our entire geography. It doesn't matter where the asset is, and we will remove the need for that specialist to drive in a car or schedule time to be somewhere else. That's time that they could be using to serve a patient rather than moving from one part of a campus to another or driving in a car from one location to another. And it significantly improves the ability to speed up access of the right kind of specialist care to the patient at the right moment in time. Our customers tell us that in the beginning of their engagement with us, they had a history of using telehealth solutions, various kinds of video conferencing devices. And what they tell us is that their focus was always, how much does the device cost? They viewed it simply as a cost. And then they had some kind of success. The success rates that they tell us are, because of the internet, perhaps 40 to 60% success rate in being able to connect to patients, especially when you're talking about connecting from home or from office or from your car. It can have a lot of limitations. We actually guarantee 99.2% connectivity success no matter where you are. It makes no difference. So long as you have internet access, you're going to have 99.2% success. And that 0.8% is at a time of day when we preemptively are providing surveillance, we detect a problem, and then we remediate that problem. This is not occurring when there's a physician or patient involved. We're providing 24/7 surveillance on our systems to make sure that there never is a problem when a physician might need the opportunity to connect to a patient. Way to go. And so there's no reason for us to change that pricing model. We just need to work with customers in order to help them leverage gaining that economic benefit, making sure that they're able to use it in ways which provide these kinds of high clinical outcome improvements, high improvements to patient access, and a much improved cost to deliver that solution to that patient. So all these statistics relate to outcomes improvements, improvements in access to patients. I'll skip the details of all this. This is a slide by service line, but we do have 30 very healthy clinical service lines in use today around the world. Pediatrics and stroke are probably the two top ones. And we've been very sensitive and been able to deliver workflow-centric solutions so that customers do not have to change how they deliver care today. They just change how often they can deliver it and their ability to deliver that care with the right kind of specialist at the right moment in time to a patient in need. Thank you very much.
Thank you.